Hey everybody, good to be live again. So, let's start in. Think sound should be okay. Today will be a little bit more a short stream. Quickly, let's test the sound. Hey, everybody, good to be live again. Sounds good. All right, let's start in. So let's look a little bit at drawing resources that help me a lot, especially also then for animation, and where to start out if you want to learn how to draw. So let's check it out. With that, let's go in. Minimize the window here. Share. So before that, I just wanted just little things I saw that are super cool. From Guillermo Jiu-Jitsu Studio. I like this little video here because you see a little bit the final output, the final animation, and then also you can see a little bit where the camera is positioned. So yeah, I think sometimes things like that, and also here a little bit closer. Things like that help a lot then to understand how things are built, composed, and how to do camera work. Yeah, I think it's made in Blender. Of course, you can do also the camera yourself, but sometimes also, do it in Blender. I feel like at some point sharing a little bit here on, so we could explore that together. I think would be a cool thing. Then also this animation, super fun and amazing. I love, a lot of frames here. I haven't watched this. Maybe you saw that, but for me, I think I saw something from it before, but this was the first time. Like seeing this kind of animation. It looks super cool. Reminds me a little bit of Avatar. But yeah, definitely want to check more something like that. And also this animation, always to see also the Gengar, I feel like is super helpful and cool to see. And I like how the explosion here looks like. So super fun to see that. The fire there. Super cool frames. All right. With that, let's go to the drawing resources also that help me a lot. Also, if you're interested, I have here like a little link tree where you can find my Patreon or my like little tools and animation essentials that help me. For example, on which tablet I'm animating, and also the books that helped me, inspired me. So if you want to check that out, and also there, for example, here, I recommend that site a lot. Hello, anime fan, cool that you're joining. I recommend this site a lot, Draw a Box. So if you come here on this site, and the cool thing is that a lot of things on Draw a Box are free. So you can go to lessons, and then you have his super cool lessons on how to learn how to draw. And I feel in general, if you want to learn how to draw, if you have are not so experienced, I feel like one thing is in the beginning that's helping on how to move your arm, so you don't want to sketch so much like from your wrist, but move your whole arm. So you can, for example, the beginner exercise is just to draw straight lines or like below from each other, or then rotate the canvas. So you can always have the same angle when sketching, and maybe you start here and then you sketch a line here from left to right. So I haven't done that for a long time, but the goal is actually to have like these lines on top of each other. And you're getting quickly into it. And maybe you do it around 8 times. So this is super beginning, and you can do the same thing with curves, longer curves, for example, like that. So build a little bit mileage there, and then you can also do the same with circles. And there are a couple of exercises like that that can help you to get better drawing. And then you can go into also boxes. So you would then also learn how to sketch a box in perspective. like this. And you don't always have to sketch like, if you would see how it's constructed, you don't always have to sketch the horizon, because like this would be here the horizon, this would be vanishing point 1, this would be vanishing point 2, and this would be like the total system here would be a two-point perspective, because we have 2 vanishing points here for each object. And then you could, like each line here goes always to one of these vanishing points. And this is how your box looks constructed. But you could also do it properly in the beginning one a couple of times. So you're sketching in your vanishing points, and every line goes there like this. I'm now doing it super fast, but I think you get the point. And this is the same thing I'm doing here, just the horizon is super far away. So just as a little note. And these are things you can also explore here with this lesson, with little exercises. We have little challenges also. Then you could also at some point explore how to draw organic shapes. So this here is a exercise you could do. So you're sketching like shapes in like this here. And then you want to make them a little bit more 3-dimensional. So you're playing a little bit with contours here and see how you can do that. Like this. And then also here add a line like this. And try to make them look 3-dimensional. So just as a super basic exercise, and then what's behind that actually. So if you would sketch like a form here like this, ellipses in it, like this. So you get also comfortable in sketching like basic round shapes also in perspective. And yeah, you could even do that by sketching a box in perspective, like this. And then round these shapes here. So you have, previously you had a box, but now then you would have like a round shape, like this. Like this. And also a thing that is important. Hello, coolies that you're joining the stream. And hello, heroes, thank you for your videos. Sure, of course, for me it's super fun. And also if it's helpful for you, I'm happy about that. A thing in the beginning, if you're learning how to draw, what's important is to always draw through your shapes. So if you're sketching a box, right now it's only like the part that is invisible from the front, but you also want to sketch through your shapes to build a little bit that understanding of depth also in perspective. So that is also important. Cool. And then you can progress here and sketch different kind of things. So like the basic principles of perspective are the same, and then you can just increase a little bit the complexity. For example, you could also then learn how to sketch, construct volume. That's also super helpful. Also later then for animation, to get a good sense on how to move in perspective. So you could learn also this here. So this is right now a quick version, but also super helpful. So this right now is not like a full tutorial on each step, then I would do it slower, but a little overview and resources at the same time. So you can maybe have some things that can help you can take away or check out here. So Draw a Box is a cool site. And then also another one I also have linked here is How to Draw by Scott Robertson. Again, you can find the tools here or the books on my link tree. For example, I have it on Instagram. And then you can go here, how to draw by Scott Robertson, and also how to render. This teaches you a little bit how to draw things in perspective, and then also how to construct sketch shadow and paint shadow. And here, also the YouTube channel from Scott Robertson, you have a couple of videos where he goes also inside it. And share a couple of small tutorials, so this is super helpful. So he's starting a little bit with materials, and like a couple years ago I worked through the whole book. I mean, it's like even when I started it, more than 5 years, and I worked through every page, did every exercise multiple times. So let's go quickly away so we can skip the ad. But yeah, that's helping a lot to go through these pages. And let me quickly skip the ad here. Oh, like this. And then you have basic things on how to mirror things, how to mirror planes in perspective, how to create grids in perspective, how are backgrounds constructed usually, then also what is 1-point perspective, 2-point perspective, this is also like a cool exercise you could check out then. For example, like you have a 2D shape, for example, like this. Super simple, and you want that translate into perspective. Yeah, how you can do that. And for example, you could just sketch here, for example, a plane like this, and you could even measure out things here, for example, like this, and you know where's the middle point. Okay, it's here, so I have this point here at the middle, so I can do the same thing here. Okay, now here's my middle point. Then a little bit more to that place, I have that point. And also what I could do is take another line here through, and there where these cross at this degree, I have that. So I'm doing the same here and a little bit higher. Okay, so I know this line goes here and then connects here. So I have that implemented, and this is approximately in the middle of these two. So I could go here, here, same height, go here down, and like this. And with that, I brought this shape into perspective. Just filling it in here. Like this, if you want to be accurate, you could also, of course, just go in and sketch it a little bit more freestyle like this in perspective. But sometimes things, especially with the strong foreshortening, it's harder to do that. For example, like to do it here, like is this line like this? Is it like this? Then it can help to do that and translate that into perspective. So things like that, and also constructing volume you find in how to draw. It's super cool videos. I can highly recommend it if you want to learn how to draw. It can be a little bit overwhelming at the beginning. But yeah, go step by step through it. For me, it took also like a couple of months to really finish it and understand everything. So be patient there. Yeah. Harris Spells, tell me which book are best for anatomy. I would say Broco is a great account you could check out, especially for anatomy. He has great anatomy videos, so I can highly recommend them if you haven't checked it out. And then also Cynics has amazing videos also on how to sketch different parts of the body, so I can also highly recommend it. For example, anatomy quick tips arms, and he also simplifying these things into super cool shapes that are easily to understand. So I hope that helps. In terms of books, the classic one is from Loomis, if you want to check that out. Yeah. And then there are just reference book I also use. I can also, maybe I have one here in the list. Not sure. So this one from Loomis is super helpful, and this one Morpho helped me a lot. So here are a lot of sketch parts of the body you can also learn from and to study from. Then I like Constructive Anatomy from Witchman. Yeah, I think these are a couple of resources that should help you. Then the last one today, let's look at ink. So I don't have so much, maybe I stream again tomorrow with a little bit more time, but today is just a short lesson for a couple of tips on drawing fundamentals. And framed ink. I love this one, so I can also highly recommend it. It's a little bit on how to do storyboards, but then also how to light characters, and a couple of basic on how to put your scene into action with a dynamic angle, also inspired a lot from movies, how to do establishing shots, where to position the characters, how to do action shots. And I like the coolest thing is also, if you look at these little thumbnails here, you can simplify these into super graphical shapes, and this is super helpful on how to understand scenes. Also, if you're watching movies that appear a little bit more complex, they all have a similar logic behind it. As you can see in these little shapes here, for example, you have a lot of black here around it, but the lid part also is here in that angle with the rule of thirds, and this yes, creating a cool contrast, so your eyes also look immediately at this spot here because it's around black here. I think that makes sense. Cool. So check also that resource out, like for great little tips. So a super quick session today. Thanks everyone for joining. Let me, if you have any your advice for beginners who want to learn animation. It depends a little bit on the style, so not for every animation style you have to learn how to draw or be the best drawer. So see if the drawings or the style you want to animate seems like the people are drawing or have highly drawing skills, and learn drawing first, but then also at some point after learning or while learning the drawing fundamentals, learn also the animation fundamentals, and then practice regularly. You don't have to practice too much, but if you, then also depends how much time do you have, how serious you want to tackle it. Do you want to just do it as a hobby for fun or a professional at some point? So the better you want to get, of course, the more time you have to invest in. But also take breaks. You can, for example, animate or learn drawing fundamentals, animation fundamentals, 6 hours every day, but also then take breaks. Do a session in the beginning, midday, and maybe then in the evening, but have breaks in between. And then it's also okay if you're doing breaks of 1 or 2 weeks and go on vacation, but then it's important to come back and over like a time span over 1 or 2 years, that it's regularly and that you don't stop completely. And then also look if other animation fields, that 3D animation is something for you could try out, or motion design. So yeah, I hope that helps a little bit. And yeah, in the future, in the next stream, also I can go more into details on topic like that. Or yeah, if you're asking more specific, I can also answer that, or write me on Instagram on the comments, and I will take the time, or on Patreon, we'll also share free things, but also more detailed things in the paid section. Then they also can take the time for your questions. And the last question, Harishwar, what is the salary of a 2D animator? That's super different. For example, I work as an art director in the advertising industry in Germany, and also the salary here is super different depending on the studio where you're working, in which kind of fields especially. Then also for animator, what do you do as an animator? So there are different roles also. Then it's completely different in every country. But I would say in the creative industry there are different ranges. And yeah, then it depends also on your experience, stuff like that. But maybe it's a good question. So maybe we could look at something like that more into detail in the future. And I also can share resources I find. Cool. Short stream today. Thanks everyone who joined and also with the questions. Let me know under the video if you have any more specific question, and I hope this stream helped a little bit. And with that, see you in the next one. Thanks for watching. Bye.